Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another Optc video, and in today's video we're breaking down the new Super Sugo Super EX transforming Yamato that will be coming as part of the New Year celebration. Just like all of these videos, let me know who you guys are most excited to down below in the comment section. While you're down there, bell the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Make sure to check out the breakdown of all the other characters for this celebration as well. But for today's video, we're checking out the girl, Yamato. Yamato is the child of ogres, determined to fight alongside the land of Wano. Here she is. She's a transforming dual unit with herself. Very similar to what Blackbeard is with the gun and like his darkness and his Yami Yami. The Yami Yami and the Goro Goro. I think it's the Quake fruit. Basically, she does something similar with her switch, changing into different forms. But let's take a look at what she actually does as a whole. Now, we're going to break down her regular kit first, and then we're going to move into her Rumble. Because, look, these characters should be some of the best characters in the game, if not the best characters. Now, starting it right off, she is a dual unit Dex and Quick unit by the look of it. She's a Striker Slasher with Final Tap. She has Pinch Healing and Enrage, and she has that ability where if you launch the special as a double character, she gets a buffed ability. So with that, it does tell us that she probably will have a high switch counter. So ideally, once we get the information for that, I'll have a look at the database. The information might be up there. I'm not 100% sure if Solaris has pulled everything yet, but from what we can see here, that she is on a 14-turn cooldown with her Limit Break expansion. As a dual character, if you launch her special, she does 150 times her attack in non-type damage to all enemies ignoring defense, reduces all damage reduction by 7 turns, 20% resistance to strikers and slashes, and boosts type effects by 2.75 for those two classes. If the enemy has an increased damage taken effect, adds increased damage conditional at 2.25, boosts the crew's type effects, so it goes to a 3 times color affinity, including on top of hers. Otherwise, if you don't have the additional damage taken, she's actually going to apply additional damage taken by 1.75 that will ignore immunity to status effects. So she can be her own proccing conditional if you guys need to do something like this. And the reason she is that is because of this captain ability, which is kind of nuts. It's so reminiscent of Cat Dog V2, and I love it because she's a speed captain. Reduces crew's special charge by 1 turn at the start of the quest, reduces her own special charge by 5 turns at the start of battle 3, reduces crew's special charge by a further 1 turn at battle 3, and then boosts striker and slasher characters' HP by 1.5, which is massive. Plus, she's a 6 times attack boost to both strikers and slashers, which is crazy. She boosts all other characters by 5 times, makes slashers and strikers Dex, Quick, Recovery, and Tandem orbs have matching slot effects. She reduces bind by 10 turns, and if a striker or slasher uses a special, reduces the switch ability of this character by 1, and adds 10% attack to the crew's next final tap. Very similar to what Momo was doing. She's actually going to apply 10%, stacking up to 200%, which is kind of nuts. So if you have characters with triple special activation, you can go bink, bink, bink. As long as they're striker and slashers, you're getting 30% on top of what she's doing, plus the 3 turns of super switch to herself, which is nuts. If the final tap attack boost activates before the end of the final battle, it'll accumulate until the final battle. At the start of the final battle, applies that final tap attack boost based on the accumulated value as well. So you'll only get this on the final stage, so don't stress that you have characters that have final tap along the way. It's not going to lose this ability. However, I do believe Red Haki will hinder this quite a lot, because you'll lose all of those buffs. All in all, though, she's kind of crazy in terms of what she's doing. The only thing I don't like about her special is she doesn't give cooldowns. If she gave cooldowns, it would make this a whole lot better, because she's giving herself 5 turns of cooldown at the start of battle 3. You could then pop her on stage 3. That way you're giving cooldowns to everyone else. But the idea is just to get her ready very, very fast. So that way you can actually get access to all of this. Now, if you're running 2 Yamatos as like hybrid captains, that's where this double special activation will come into effect. And you'll get all of the resistance, so 40% resistance. You get the 3 times color affinity, and you get the additional damage taken, plus the conditional boost as well. So running 2 Yamatos together is going to be very powerful. It also means that as a captain, you're going to get this 200% a lot faster. I don't know if it stacks together. I imagine it would, which would just be kind of nuts. And hitting that 200% extra effect will just go to the absolute moon. And the reason this is so good is because her final tap at level 5 is actually wild. At the end of the battle, when 3 of the following characters are on the crew, being Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, any of the Straw Hats, and then Odin, pretty much, she's going to... It's weird that Momo's not there, though. I don't understand why Momo isn't here. But basically, she's going to change her slot, including block to Wano, and then boost her base attack by 700 for 1 turn, which will stack with any other special. And then she boosts her own attack, well, she boosts the crew's attack, which is her own because it's a final tap, by 200% for the damage reduction effect. So, very similar to that Verse Yamato ability that gives you the damage reduction. She does this up to 200%, which means if you're using a 70% buff, you're not going to get a 1.7 times multiplier, you're going to get a 2.4, which is crazy. It's just insane. Plus, if you get her at level 5 final tap and you have this 200% means like 2 times, so you're doubling this. So this is wild. You're going to have 1400 base stats, and whatever number this is, you're going to double that at 200%. Just kind of crazy what you can do. Plus, there is a unit called K-Dad, which is going to double the effects of all your slashes on the team, which this 200% is going to work amazing with. So she's exceptional as a captain. She's got a really, really good special. As a sailor, she boosts striker and slasher's base attack by 150. And then her other crewmate reduces special charge by 1 turn every time a slasher or striker uses a special. Her switch, though, this is where things are going to get a little bit interesting, because if she's on a super high switch like Kid Law, it could be a little bit challenging for her to use, but she does seem like she's just going to be like a staple on all of these crazy slasher big damage teams. Her regular switch removes Despair and Slot Bind on herself. Remember, she's removing Bind as well as a captain. So if you get blinded before the Despair, you're still going to remove it, and then you can switch with her, and then she's going to remove Despair as well. She will change her own slot into Wano, and then boost the attack of the next final tap performed by the crew at 5%. Up to 200%. The effect will be spent during the final tap when attacking with all available classes. So this is the one where it'll stack into that 200% like her captain ability is doing, but you don't want to be doing the final tap here, because that way you're going to lose it. Her super swap is going to put her in her dual form for 3 turns, gives you an extra 20% resistance. So again, if you're running 2 Yamatos with the super swap, you're looking at like 80% resistance for strikers and slashers. So if you're a striker and a slasher, you're getting 80 plus 80, so 160%. It's just kind of crazy if you're running 2. Plus, she adds 10% to that final tap ability and still removes the Despair and Slot Bind. But the reason here is you just want to get her into her dual form. Plus, all the extra stuff, it's just kind of nice. She does have a Super EX as well. Obviously, you need to be in her dual form to get this, so you are going to need that swap. When the character becomes her dual form and 3 of the following characters are on the crew, being all of the Straw Hats, all are like of Odin, Momo, and the Scabbards, and then Ace is there as well, which is kind of nice. Reduces crew's special charge by 2 turns, which is super good, because remember, if you're getting her into her dual form very, very fast, with her ability to get the super swap charges as captain, you can actually get this effect super nice. She's going to give you a 70% damage reduction, which works well with her final tap, and then she's also going to boost the attack of the next final tap of the crew by 20%. So again, very, very easy way of getting your 200% for that final tap very, very fast. She then makes strikers and Dex, Super Dex and Super Striker, so the Super X is very, very good as well. All in all, her regular kit seems incredible. She seems like a very, very interesting character. The problem is, you are going to want to be using her final tap, so she's a character that you're going to want to max out, but she does work exceptionally well if you partner her up with K-Dad. Like I said, K-Dad is just going to go through the absolute moon through this celebration, because everyone is slashers. So some pretty nice stuff there. So very, very interesting normal kit. I'm a big fan of what she's doing. She's a speed captain. She's not perfect, but look, she's very, very strong. As for Rumble, I haven't actually read her Rumble abilities yet. Like in regular play, I'm a super big fan. But in Rumble, she's going to be a striker slasher Dex unit. Oh no, she's a dual unit, so she's going to be multi-classes, so the slasher teams just keeps on benefiting here. 33-second cooldown is incredibly high, and she's a defensive style. Her special is going at level 10, activates Provoke on herself, gives herself level 10 defense up, targets 1 enemy with current HP for 80% reduction. Damn, that's crazy. 80% HP cut. What? And then targets 2 enemies with high CT for special bind of 10 seconds. Not terrible. Like, the 80% cut is just wild. Plus, this is kind of a nice little, like, pseudo Zoro but without the counters, which kind of sucks. But look, if you can special bind characters, this is going to go really, really hard. Her ability boosts Dex and Quick, so I'm already not a fan of that. Dex and Quick, teammates HP up level 5, crit up level 5, special CT level 3, and then slashes get defense up level 6 and speed up level 6. Honestly, the last part of her passive saves her because the defense up and the speed up for slashes is great. A lot of the slashes are dual units, but as for Dex characters, you have stuff like Ashura Zoro, you have stuff like Dex Mihawk. For quick units, you have stuff like Cracker, and then you can even run King of Hell Zoro on that slash team too. So not a bad buff in terms of her passive, but let's take a look at her GP stuff. Her burst after receiving 54,000 damage targets team for a shield level 6, attack up level 10. Strikers and slashers teammates get a level 4 counter stance. Okay, that's really good because this works really, really well with her passive for provoking. And if you guys have seen what Zoro does with his counter, this is going to go through the absolute moon. Targets all enemies for attack speed down level 8 and defense down level 6. This is a good burst. I don't know if it's going to be like... It's obviously not Gear 5 level, but like could be on like Roger's level when it first released. Her passive boosts Dex and Quick teammates, recovery, crit, attack up level 5, and then strikers and slashers get attack, HP, speed up level 4. She's okay. Not a bad GP leader. I do like what she's doing with this particular passive alongside her kit. However, I don't know how effective this is going to be if you're not running her and you're using her burst on different stages. But you do have a lot of good slashes on the side team. You do have a lot of good slashes on the Free Spirit team. And you can do a lot of cool stuff there with Zoro and whatnot as well. Overall, I'm a big fan of what Yamato's doing. Like, I'm a really, really, really big fan. The new buff that allows us to sort of do a lot more damage with final taps is incredibly interesting. And I do think this character is going to be a very, very good unit on high damage teams. She's got great utility. She's got cooldowns. She's doing a lot in slashes. They're going to the absolute moon this celebration. But let me know what you think of this Yamato. Hopefully her cooldowns aren't super, super high in terms of her super swap and stuff like that. But like I said, let me know down below. Before I go... Alright, so before I go, I've quickly pulled up the database. Huge shout out to Solaris for getting this information out to us super early. It does seem like you do want to get her into her dual form by Battle 3, because you're only getting 1 turn of cooldown in her Character 1 special, and then you're getting 4 turns in her Character 2 special at Battle 3. So, ideally, you really want to be in this form when you move into Stage 3, so that way she gives herself 4 turns as a minimum. But if you are in that dual form, you are going to be doing some really, really nice stuff there. Her the switch effect only goes up by 5% when you are in her standard form if they use a special. So make sure your characters are using their specials when she's in this dual form, so you're getting stuff like the 10%. So it's all going to be really, really sort of honed in on how many turns this particular swap actually needs. And I don't think we have the information on the super swap number. It does seem like we don't have that particular number, unfortunately. But we'll have to wait and see what that actually looks like. If you guys do know the swaps, let me know in the comment section below. But like I said, let me know your thoughts and opinions of this unit down below as well. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. Bell like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.